Hey you. Where do I want to put my hair? So I'm doing a super early line today, and I'm in the store. So I'm waiting for the library to open up. So I got about almost 40 minutes. 40. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in the library all day, and I need to get a lot of stuff done for myself. So I can't really guarantee that I will do a live in the afternoon. Usually when I'm waiting for my daughter to drive, I do my life then. So I decided to see like what's the morning though. Probably might not get people on because most people are at work or at school. I have time freedom, so there's that. So what's up? I have my plum. Are you actually no? I don't like eating on camera. I'll eat my plum after. I wanted to do my live on. Well, maybe I should say it was inspired. My live today was inspired by me. I keep seeing so many videos that are women talking about how their boyfriends or husbands or quond- quondams, their quondams, didn't really like them. And that there was a lot of red flags that they ignored or they share videos and they they're just doing story time on like what their exes are doing or what their current boyfriends, husbands, whoever are doing, and then there's a lot of commentary of people being like, well, that person really doesn't like you and they lusted over you, or they're trying to control you or something like that. And I was like, I've spent all of this year pretty much processing the 11 years I've spent with somebody, realizing, unbeknownst to me, like, yeah, this person never liked me. Like, never liked me. Didn't like anything about me. It was all a front, a fake. So I decided to share a few of those things that now are very prominent. And I'm like, well, now I know for next time. I'll know if I encounter that this person or said people that they don't really like me, you know? And I can, when I'm out, every day that I'm outside, every single day, I get men that ask me out on a date or want to give me their numbers to talk to them. And I can easily identify the men that are lusting over me. And even, I didn't really understand love. I thought I go with who likes me. So if it seems like you like me, I would just rock with it in the past. And prior to this experience, like I've never dated. I've always been in long-term relationships. And even those people I didn't date. It just felt like they liked me. And I'm very easygoing. So it doesn't take much for me to like you. If you're funny and you got a good personality, I was like, oh, okay. And reflecting, I can see that both of my long term quondams did not like me. There was a lot of lust going on and a lot of deceiving and perceiving that I am somebody that I am not, or thinking that they could mold me into whatever they're actually attracted to, which in their cases are women who are insecure, women who are airheads, women who are easily controllable. And one thing that's true about me is women that are homebodies. Like I'm a homebody. I don't really like to be like out partying and stuff like that. I'm spontaneous though, so I like to travel. I like experiences, not the typical just going out and partying. So I guess 1 out of 4 fits me. But the other thing is that I think everybody has their insecurities, but like to just be overall insecure, like that's not me. And then two, I'm definitely not an airhead. But there are several people who think that I'm an airhead, and I don't really know what it is. I can tell you what people have said to me over the years, and they're always just like, "It's your voice. It's your voice," because however you're supposed to sound when you're black or melanated, or people give me shit about my voice, so it'd just be like, "Oh, you're a valley girl. You're a white girl," and it's like, clearly, I'm not white, and I'm not from the valley. I'm from the East Coast. So that perception, they perceive and project that of like, oh, the way that you talk, you give off airhead vibes. But I'm super califragilistic, SBLadocious smart. And it's not until people spend enough time with me that they see that they cannot finesse me or mold me into whatever they thought, then they try to harm me. It's the most craziest cycle. And so I refuse to go through that cycle again. And so I just wanted to share things that I'm like, oh, I really didn't know how devious and how calculated and orchestrated some men, some men are when it comes to women, and especially women that they don't like. Like I didn't even know that this was a thing. So this has totally fucked up my head because I didn't know that there are men that don't like women, or they get with them to, like, there's quid pro quo or like strings attached or mind games, some kind of, it's something to be like, let me take their light, or let me siphon their energy, or let me trap and entrap them, some kind of, it's weird. I don't understand people like that. And so I didn't know how vastly the amount of men, the damn, I can't even think of good words to say. I just didn't know that there's a lot of men. I think now, learning and educating myself, that these are like closeted people, or people who don't want to live in their truth. So they try to get with certain women to hold up this lifestyle, but they don't really like them. That's the only thing that I could think of. Because if you're attracted to women and you are heterosexual, that's why I said, like, this, that never crossed my mind. It's weird, right? Thank you. Knowing is half the battle. Facts. Hello, Caitlin. Let me say hi to y'all. I'm going super live early today. Hello, Caitlin. Hello, Megan. Thank you for the affirmations, Keith. You're awesome. But yeah, I was like, what I've just went through has been the. I don't even have a word for it. I keep asking God to give me a word for the experience that I just went through, but I don't have one. But if I reflect on the 11 years that I spent with somebody who didn't like me, a lot of things of educating myself, I'm like, wow, if only I would have known that. I wouldn't have invested, good morning. I wouldn't have invested so much of my time and so much of my life and my body and like sacrifices for this person who sole purpose was to destroy me and belittle me and to literally suck the life out of me. Like, have you guys seen these videos of the women doing, like, oh, what do you mean he sucked the life out of you? And they show like how they looked before they started dating or when they first started dating as to the end. And I'm like, I could easily do those kind of content videos. But I was just reflecting on this last night because I'm like, you know what? Like I've been away from this person for we're in September. So 6 months. I've been away from them for 6 months. And I'm getting up, I'm getting dressed, I'm able to do my hair, I'm able to like put a little eyeliner on, I'm able to get myself together and feel like I'm getting back in the flow of things. And I'm like, I just wasn't able to do that. And I'm like, I should have been able to do that because there's two people. No, you're fine. I'm like, there's two people. And I'm like, nothing's changed. I'm still a mom. I'm still hands on. I do everything with my daughter, and he wasn't helping me. Another thing is, this person would monopolize the bathroom so that I could never get in and have time to myself, shower, shit, anything. And me learning about narcissism and like their obsession in the bathroom and like doing their rituals and their addictions and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew that shit wasn't normal. I was just dealing with it. Right. I agree with you, Caitlin. But there are some men that will get turned off. Like after you have a baby, your body changes. They just, and I feel like they should give you grace, and they don't. There are there are some. I haven't encountered that just yet, but I'm just like, yeah, it was all a game to. I don't even know what his end goal was, but when I think about how I just wasn't able to just get up and shower and get dressed for myself for the day. Like when I reflect on it, it was totally intentionally. So I would try to go in the bathroom early in the morning while everybody else would be asleep, and he would purposely go in there and then sit in there from like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning until like 7, 7:30. I have to get my daughter up and get her ready for school, and so I have to be like rush in with her and try to get her situated. He would not help me getting her prepared to go to school. And now, mind you, he was supposed to be at work for 9 o'clock, but he has flexibility at his job. So at least I would say at the time, there was a lot of finagling, a lot of finagling going on. But I was like, okay, I would get my daughter out the door, and now I feel like I should have time to go get myself together for the day. A little frustrated because I want to be up and ready before I got my daughter ready. It just didn't work out that way. And then he'd, as soon as I get her out of the bathroom, he'd sit in the bathroom again until like 11 o'clock. And it would always be like a bicker. I'm like, what are you in here doing? Like, I can never get in the bathroom. The other thing is, I had to knock. Whenever I wanted to use the bathroom, I had to knock on the door where I live in a house with somebody that I shared for 6 years. I had to knock on the door and ask for permission to use the bathroom. And I would constantly be like, this is not normal. And you're monopolizing the bathroom, and it would just always turn into something more. He would make it something more that it wasn't. I'm like, when am I supposed to get in here? Like, if I'm trying to get in at 3 in the morning when you should be asleep, you're in here. Like, you're always in the bathroom. Nobody can ever get in the bathroom, and I don't have time. Like, what are you doing? And then he'd be in there for like 8 hours and still didn't wash his ass. And then he'd be like, "Oh, well, you gotta hurry up. If you're gonna go in there, hurry up and gonna do what you gotta do because I still gotta take a shower." Like, bro, you've been in the bathroom for like 6 to 8 hours. You still didn't wash your ass. What are you in here doing? Like that, I don't miss that. It was a very frustrating thing. So I was just thinking of like, nothing really has changed with me and my situation with my daughter. So what did change? It's just that I'm not around this person no more, and I'm not like under their spell and under their control and under their rules. And I'm like, I constantly felt like I'm in a relationship with a dictator. And when I would say that, like, he would get so upset. Learning about narcissism, I'm like, oh, that's the appropriate word. Like, you are a narcissist, and I didn't even know that this was a thing. So I've learned a lot of lessons this year. Um, Fellas, the body may change, but remember values to that drawing line. Oh, I love that too. I know, and it's sad because you never know if they still like you or not, and if they still want to be with you after being pregnant. So I'm just like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I want to have more kids, and I just it's almost like there's a pause or there's a fear because the thing that I'm understanding, like the other day I did a list. I have like this elongated list of do's and don'ts and haves and must haves and must not haves of the next person I get into a relationship with or who that I'm attracting to, my husband. I still wanted to get married even after what this man did to me. Um, but I've learned that there are men. I think the men that you're talking about, Caitlin, and I just had to figure this out, is there are men who want to be a dad and they want to have a family versus men that just want to have a lot of kids. And like my quondam just want to have a lot of kids. Like that was his mission is to have 10 kids, not to have a family, not to be a hands-on dad. He's a high bye dad. He's a like send me pictures, keep me updated. And so there's a difference. There's a lot of men out here that they just want to say that they're fathers, just want to keep their last name going and spread their seed everywhere. And so it took me to have a kid with somebody who perceived like I'm telling you guys, I had years of conversations with this man about he knows my family, number one, and so he knows a lot of the trauma I come from. Like he knows how important it was for me to when I wanted to become a mom, I want to have a two family household because I didn't grow up with that. Family is very important to me. Creating your own traditions and sitting down and eating dinner together, like everything family oriented is very important to me. When I would talk to him about these things, he would very much say like now when I look back on it, it was all just telling me what I wanted to hear. But he was trying to mirror anything that I said. He's like, yeah, like he was on it. So we had in-depth conversations about what kind of family we were gonna have, what kind of how we're gonna raise the kid, and um, if we're gonna have these kind of traditions, how we're gonna spend our day, what kind of school we're gonna send the kid, all types of stuff. I had so many conversations with this person, so I was so thrown off and flabbergasted when I had a kid and I how he started to treat me. I was like, if I would have known that I would have gotten this treatment, I would have never put myself in this predicament with you ever, because every year just got progressively worse. But yeah, I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm naturally chill like Holmes and John Wick. I think that um, one thing that has I'm really good at reading people, right? Wolves in clothing. I'm really good at reading people and picking up their energies and stuff like that. What this last relationship has taught me is that and most women have this problem. I fall in love with words and not actions. And if I needed something to like wake me up from that spell, going through this and being traumatized and having to process and heal and figure out how to create boundaries and how to identify and how to attract instead of just accept what comes to me. It was this experience because I'm like, I that was my biggest thing and why I stayed mad for so long. I'm like, yo, the amount of conversations I had with you and you told me this, but then your actions showed me this, and then it just keeps, it's just word vomit. And so moving forward, I will not believe what a man says. Like if your actions don't showcase that, I can't go off what is being said. I absolutely positively can't, and I can't wait. I can't wait to give you that grace or be patient with you in the sense of like give me time to get over here and do this because you do that and then that person is using you as a placeholder or that person is using you just as a moment in time to get over a hurdle, and then they leave you all fucked up because you were sitting here believing and putting all your energy and your life into like a person, their words, and trying to prove, oh yeah, I'll be your ride or die, or oh yeah, like I'm not gonna be like other women and give up on you and allow you to do this, this, that, and third. And that was me. That was me very much of like, I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm gonna believe in you. I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna motivate you. I cannot do that. I cannot. And it was like one of my favorite quotes is by Maya Angelou, like when you know better, you do better. And I emulate that stuff. Like once I learn something, it might have taken me a long time to learn it, but once I learn it, I learned it. And so yeah, my shit's falling down. I I've just learned. So anyways, I went on like the whole thing based on the comments, but um right. I'm really good at the nonverbals, paraverbals. I get caught up in the verbals though. I get caught up in like what sounds good and like wishful thinking and hope. And I've just learned like I cannot do that. I can't because it has given me a lifetime of heartache, of believing people's words and waiting. And one thing that is important to me is time because I cannot ever get my time back. I don't care about money. Like money comes and goes, and you can always get more of it. I you, I can't get back my 11 years. I can't get back my previous 6 years of spending some. Like I can't. Thank you. Likewise, I can't. So good morning, Tip Top Health. So yeah, you gotta keep your head on a swivel, and you gotta read people's nonverbals, paraverbals, and you gotta listen to their verbals, but you gotta see their follow through. You gotta see their action. You gotta see like how they're really moving as a person because this person that I'm referring to, they very much are uh they do things from a strings attached. Like they won't do for somebody else unless they're getting something else from it. And like these are all things that I already knew about the person. I just didn't know that I fell into that category. I didn't know it was just like a clear across the board. I thought there was tiers of like you do like you're strategically do this with people that you think low of or whatever reason, and then I don't know what I was thinking. Saying this shit out loud, I just be like, I sound stupid. Thank you. I am having a good morning. I'm waiting for the library to open. I got a couple more minutes, so I decided to do an early live today. Um, but my list. So I should have wrote this list down because I'm like all over the place and I didn't cover many things on the list besides like the bathroom thing, like not allowing me to get myself dressed. The other thing is one thing that's very prominent is the more I said I didn't like something, the more of the something I got, the more of the something I received. Example: every day I wear a dress. I like to wear dresses. I'm very girly, and I like to get dressed. And so he would constantly keep making me wear sweatpants, which is nothing wrong with sweatpants. Like I understand, like I'm in the house, I'm chilling, I got sweatpants on or whatever, and I didn't mind that. But then it just became like blatantly obvious. I'm like, why do you keep buying me sweatpants? Because I was getting upset that I literally didn't have anything to wear. And anytime I'm going somewhere, whether I'm outside or I'm doing an event, I was still doing business events all the time. Like I'm in sweatpants all the time. I'm looking all bummy. And he would just try to be like, butter me up, like, oh, I think you look amazing. And you don't have to be dressed up. Like, sweatpants is what I like you in. Control issues. And I was like, well, that's understandable. I don't have a problem with that, but this is what I like. And the more that I tried to, I was like, I don't think you know what I like. But then I'd also be like, you're the only person I talk to every single day. So are you just not listening to anything that I'm saying? Example, when it started to become my birthday, I would start sending him a list. I would start sending, and this is like after 6 or 7 years of us being together, I started sending him a list because on my birthday, he would give me things that he liked that I didn't like, that I wasn't into. Like, he'd give me alcohol or weed. The last 4 years, I got headphones. And then last year was my final straw. I thought we were going out. He was like, get dressed. I thought that he's like playing to do something nice for me. And he took me to the casino and he allowed me to spend $40. It's also cheap too. And before that used to like never bother me because I'm not money motivated and I'm not materialistic, but I'm just like, why the hell would you bring me to the casino? I don't gamble. I don't even like the casino. So this was not thoughtful. Like he would not do anything thoughtful or planned out. There would be no plan of action, nothing of being like India would really like this, or India's been talking about this, or India gave me this list and these are the things that she would want. There was no effort, nothing. And I just would have received stuff that he liked. Like he liked to gamble. He liked to go to the casino. He liked to drink. He liked to. He would be happy if somebody gave him weed on his birthday. Not me. You giving me bags of weed and alcohol and taking me to the casino. And I'd be like, what happened to the list of stuff that I gave you? Like these are not even nothing, none of the things that I'm into. And then when I would send him the list of stuff that I wanted for my birthday, I would send him the links. He would go and check out the links and he would complain about the price. And he'd be like, oh, I'm gonna try to find a knockoff brand of whatever it was that I wanted. And I would get into arguments with him about it because I would say, yo, bro, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't treat you like this. I don't do these things to you. I don't try to give you knockoff shit of things that you really want. And I don't even need a list. I am America's greatest gift giver. You want to know why? Because I study people, I listen to people, I watch people, I see what they're into, I see the things that they like, I hear the things that they talk about, and I remember them. I have an amazing brain. And so something you probably forgot about in a conversation, I will give it to you as a gift. And you'd be like, how do you even know that I like this? Oh, because we had a conversation about it a year ago, or however long ago. I just pay attention to people. So like for him, let me give examples. For him, on his birthdays, we'd do experiences. Like I'd buy tickets to something, I'd drive there and back, and it'd be an experience. Like if you're in New York, I'm not gonna go this year. This is probably the second year I'm not going. There's an event called Beacondale. I didn't even think he was faking being vegan, but I took him to that. There's a band called Black Violin, and they do a very intricate, small, intimate setting where they're playing all your favorite hip hop and R&B songs on the violin. That's just dope. It's an experience. Like I will always look up experiences and take him and try to introduce him into new things and give him experiences, memories, because one, that's important to me, and then two, I would ask him like, "What are you into?" Like he don't know what he's into. What do you like? He don't know what he like. So I would have to work my brain extra hard to um, make his birthday special to him. And so when I would like, I never got that reciprocated ever, 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 ever. And so I think like in the beginning, when it was just like bare minimum, it didn't bother me. I don't know why I would think that it started that way, that it would get better. But then also, we were friends for a while. And so I'm like, oh, you're learning me, like I'm learning you. So I give people grace and I give people time. But yeah, that was a major thing of just giving me shit that I didn't want. And and then the other thing about it is, I was like, he's doing this on purpose. He's doing this on purpose because his mom would do that to him. Like for Christmas and for his birthday, his mom would just give him like some random shit that she got from the church, or or something that she got from like a family member, or something that she kept from Christmas from a year ago, and he'd get so mad, like, oh, she treats me like a stepchild, like, oh, she doesn't do that for his brother. For his brother, she does very thoughtful gifts. She's like, oh, I know that he's like this, and she was like, the brother was her favorite, so she gave all the attention. She would throw the brother. Now their birthdays are a month apart. She would throw the brother birthday parties every year for his birthday, and then he'd get grouped into like group party or like a bare minimum, bare effort, non thoughtful gift, and he'd get upset about it, and I'd be like, "That's how you treat me, though." So I know that you're able to recognize what I'm saying, because I get the same treatment from you, and we're together. And this was before we had a kid, and like after we had a kid, it just got progressively worse. But yeah, those would be like the main things of giving me things that I didn't want. And the more that I said that I didn't want it, or that I didn't like it, or I wasn't interested in it, and the more that I received it. And the things that he would do for me on my birthday, like people who give you stuff that they like, they don't really care about you. I don't care. People would be like, oh, just be grateful that you got anything. I don't fucking believe that. I'm sorry. There is a quote that the school systems are now teaching the elementary kids. They're teaching the elementary kids not to complain about things that they receive. They're saying you get what you get, and that's it. And that's how I don't agree with that. I don't agree that you should teach somebody like you get what you get and that's it, and keep your mouth shut and just be grateful. No, speak your mind. Speak what you want. Speak what you like, and what you, because how would you ever know what you like, or how can you tell somebody if you just accept whatever you receive? Like I went through what I went through because I just accepted the person for who they projected themselves to be. I just accepted them without the judgment, or not looking at all the baggage that they got. No, I'm not doing that shit again. I don't believe, and I don't even believe the school system should be able to teach kids like you get what you get and that's it. Like don't complain. Oh, what? And so being in a relationship with somebody that thinks that way or treats you like that is it's a mind fuck, because it did, like you'll watch the person go all out for themselves, like whatever they want. It doesn't matter about the price tag. It doesn't matter. It has to be top tier. Like the price doesn't matter. It has to be name brand, and they have to have instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to you, they're trying to get clearance rag, cheap, off brand, no thought. And so that is a major red flag. Like if anybody's treating you like that, and I just accepted it for a long time, and I was just like, oh, making excuses like, oh, he just doesn't know what I like. But I'm like, how? Like all I do is tell him about what I like and what I want. And then the response, even the verbal response was like, I don't care about that. I don't care about what you want. I don't care about what you like. I'm just gonna get whatever I think, and I'm not spending that much money on you. This is another thing. So I was watching videos with girls talking about, because I don't care about money. This is probably why I had to go through this, because I don't care about money. But I was watching some videos on some girls doing story time, and then also people just reacting to other people's stories. And something that like just punched me in the face the other day was a lady talking about how her husband won't spend any money on her, but he spends money on his friends and stuff all the time. And then the girl that was reacting to the video was like, men, if a man won't spend money on you, it just means that he doesn't like you. And like men spend money on anything that they like. And I don't know why it punched me in the face as hard as it did, but just like understanding it, I've seen a lot of different videos on it. I'm just like, oh, because the lady was going in depth. She's like, one, men spend money on things that they love, cars, hobbies, games, all this stuff. So if a man won't spend money on you, like that is your top tier red flag that he doesn't like you. And because money It's not a motivator for me. Money, like I will deal with somebody who doesn't have a job, doesn't have a car. Well, I did in the past. Like so I didn't categorize people by what they have and how much money they have, or what kind of car they just have, or what kind of job. Like I just like the person and their personality and their character. That was enough for me. Moving forward, it's not enough for me because I can't put myself in this situation where this man that I spent 11 years with would constantly tell me he doesn't feel comfortable giving me money and he doesn't feel comfortable spending money on me unless it's something he went ahead and paid for, which was usually just fucking food, bare minimum shit. And so at first it didn't bother me. As the relationship went on, I started to see that he'd always give his friends money, no problem. He'd always give them money and front them money, and they didn't have to ask, they didn't have to beg, and you didn't have to have a lecture about why you're getting. Like he would just always give them money, and like always going out with them, spending money on them on whatever it is. Once they all have addictions, so the fact that I'm this person that you've spent however long time with, and you're telling me you don't feel comfortable giving me money, what are you talking about? And that if I want something, like to find the cheapest, like yo, the only person I'm mad at is myself because when you don't know what you don't know until you know. And that's just a hard lesson that I hope that you learn as quickly as possible, to like learn everything that you can learn as quickly as possible, no matter how hard the lessons are. I've seen a quote that I wrote down in my room the other day, which is God will use rocks to teach you, which basically the rocks are a metaphor. Like God will use suffering and hard, hard things, hard things that you have to learn from in order to teach you, to mold you into like the version of yourself that you need to be. So for me, I just put up with a lot of stuff for like half and half. Half of the stuff I knew, and then half of the stuff I'm not gonna say that I didn't know it, but in depth, it didn't resonate with me so strongly as it resonates with other people. Because I don't put myself out there to be a very materialistic girl. Even still, like I'm not looking for the person who has the best car, the most jewelry, or the most swag, and like, because I don't care about those things, and I don't. I care about heart and mind. I care about things that money can't buy. With that being said, I will be able to identify moving forward from those examples of, oh, you're not a person that is in a line with where I'm at and where I'm going. And so I no longer can just be like, yeah, I'll accept you for who you are and what you don't have. Like if you don't have a car, you don't have a house, and you don't have a, I have to hold weight to that because that there's a really good quote and it slipped my mind, but I have to hold weight to the things that I that are, they're still not near and dear to my heart. Like I'll never care about money the way that other people will, or I'll never like judge somebody based on how much money that they have. What you do with the money, money is a tool, and money is to be used. And money's sole purpose is to be used to make more money and to put yourself in a position where you have time freedom and money freedom and to help other people. So I will never idolize or like be in love with money. That's the thing. That's another thing. If a man tells you like he's in love with money, he's chasing money, and he doesn't have a money goal, don't waste any time with that person. Because there's one thing to like money, but like if you're in love, infatuated, and you idolize with it, that's an addiction. And when people who have addictions, you're nothing in comparison to that addiction. Because what the addiction does for them, you can never do for them. And so if you're dealing with a person like how I was dealing with a person who has multiple addictions, money, porn, weed, liquor, I was never gonna win in that relationship. And I'm like growing up the way that I grew up with everybody around me having addictions and me being the opposite, but then being made fun of and then doing all the stuff that they're doing to try to fit in so that they don't make fun of me. I've just understood, and I shouldn't have put myself in this situation because I've understood solely with my mom. Like, you'll never win with somebody that has an addiction. They will always choose their addictions over you because they put their addictions over themselves and their own self care and their own love and their own daily routine and structure and strategy. That's why I couldn't get in the bathroom for 8 hours to get myself together. It's the whole thing. Um, Thank you, Keith. I hope that you have a beautiful day. I went live because I don't know. I'm about to go to the library, and I don't know if I'll get on a little later. But yeah, those are my top things of how a person talks to you, how a person pays attention to you, how a person perceives you, and the amount of effort and sweat equity that they will put into you. Um, Another thing that is like an after I can't. It's like a post red flag. There you go. Is that when I started to put up the boundaries of like I'm not gonna deal with this, that, and the third, and then I removed myself, which was supposed to be a temporary removal. Like this person that I just spent 11 years with, like didn't chase me, didn't be like please, like what's going on? I love like didn't chase me, didn't fight for me, didn't even want to have a conversation with me. Hence us to like why I talk to my phone now for things that don't talk to me, talk to your phone. And so I think that it took for me to remove myself and to still be waiting and the treatment just progressively got worse. And then for me to educate myself and be like, wow, like I was just chasing and I just spent time and I just built and birthed so many stuff with somebody who just did not like me. How did I get there? And it's also a reflection of yourself of like, well, maybe you didn't like something in yourself and you didn't have any boundaries, you didn't have any standards in, in order for you to deal with something to that capacity that I dealt with it. And so all you can do is accept it and move forward. But like watching those videos, I'm like, wow, there are a lot of men who don't like women. And then they get with them. Like, what will be the reason? Another thing that projected this video is I don't watch reality TV, but I'm watching reaction videos of people reacting to the Nelly and Ashanti reality show. I guess they have a reality show. And there's a couple of scenes that I've seen where he's telling her that he doesn't deal with babies and he don't change diapers and he ain't gonna deal with the baby until the baby can talk and walk and fend for itself. Men like that is the man that I was just with, like my brother, all his friends, they're all like that. And I like those are men who don't want to be fathers. Who don't want to be dads, hands-on dads. They just want to say that they got kids or I got a boy, I got a girl or whatever. But they have no plans on being hands-on. They have every plan for you to be the person. All the sole responsibility fall on you. And it took me going through this to understand that. Another thing is, in one of the other scenes, is she was FaceTiming the nanny and to see the baby, like checking on the baby, and then she was cooing and cawing to the baby and like blowing the baby kisses and stuff, and he was getting jealous and he was like, "Oh, you don't talk to me like that. You don't do that when I see you." And then he literally said out of his mouth, like, "What did I marry you for?" And then I looked in the comments and there was a lot of people saying men get jealous of their kids. And so I highly resonated with this because when I had my daughter, her father, like I was breastfeeding and I was like making oatmeal, bare minimum stuff that he should have been helping me with. Side note. Anyways, um, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're feeding her first before you feed me," and that's not fair. Like you're forgetting about me. And I'd be like, "Why are you talking to me as if like this is just a random kid? Like this is your kid. I can't do all these things at once. Like, and I'm not making her no full course meal. Like, it's fucking oatmeal, bro. And we didn't eat breakfast. Like, I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat until after 11 a.m. every single day. If I do have something before that, it's liquids. It's something to drink or a smoothie or a fresh juice. So we would constantly bicker back and forth, and I'd be like, when we would be talking in my head, I'd be thinking like, this sounds like this man is jealous of his own kid. But then he would talk about the kid as if it was somebody else's kid, or as if it was just like someone I'm babysitting, and it's causing a rigor. Like this is your kid, bro. And so watching that scene was the same thing, where it's just like, because even in that scene, he didn't say like, he didn't go over to the phone and be like, "Hey boy," like I don't know what the kid's name is, but he didn't go over and say, "Hey, daddy misses you, daddy loves you," or he didn't tell her to like turn the phone around so I could see him. He was just really upset that the attention wasn't on him, and that she was doing the baby voice and everything to this baby, which is also his baby. And so in my situation, I had conversations with this man about being hands on and all of this stuff. And so, like, sometimes you can assume that a person is going to be like that. And then in other cases, there are times where you can talk to somebody and they just fake the front. And then you put yourself in this situation and then actions will show you. And for me, after I had my daughter, is really what amplified. Like you could no longer hide behind your words. You could no longer hide behind the mask. It amplified the type of person I attached myself to, and I was like, "Wow, I hate it here. How did I get here?" And it was immediately after I had a kid, because I had my daughter during COVID. Actually, I had my daughter, and then the world literally shut down, and then we were in the hospital together, and I had a very rough delivery and all that stuff. And I was out of it, and I needed help with a lot of stuff. And anytime that I would ask him, like, "Oh, could you help me with this?" He'd literally look at me and say, "Use your call bell." In my head, I would be like, "Why would I have to use my call bell if you're right here?" So I did use my call bell, and I just was pissed while he sat there on his phones and computers. And then he had an attitude because he was stuck inside and couldn't go outside. Like, what's important to you? Outside getting high, or being in the moment and enjoying this newborn and new life that I just almost lost my life? It was just a lot of stuff, yo. And then on top of that, another red flag. This person has been training me for a long time, not to react to the fuckery that they were doing. When I had my first ultrasound, this person, I have this recorded. I don't know if I ever posted this on my YouTube channel. I might have. it might be posted. You know, I'm gonna go look it up. It might be posted under India's having a baby at 35. That video. But I was recording us and the thing, and at the time I didn't know what I was having, or I was refusing to find out what I was having. But I knew in my heart that I was gonna have a girl. And I remember we were like waiting, and I was recording everything. I'm telling you, this is already posted on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna double check. But I was recording it. I was getting no action, no emotion out of him. He was just on the phone the entire time. And I was like that, and to myself, I'm like, damn, this is weird. Like, you're not acting happy, and I'm acting excited. And then I was happy and also anxious because like I lost a baby previous to my daughter in a very tragic way. And so I was worried they were like prolonging me getting an ultrasound, but I was worried because of what I had just experienced, to make sure like everything was okay. Anyways, the whole entire time he was just acting weird and not engaging with me and just like on his phone. And then when we went in and did the ultrasound, he was just on his phone, like with his back turned towards me on the phone. And the lady put the image up on the screen, and I was like, I could literally see my daughter like she was doing somersaults, and it was like the most beautiful, beautiful thing. Like, motherfucker, if you're gonna use your phone, like record this, like. And I was just like, look, like I was just trying to force him to like be engaged in this experience. Like, you should be making my experience as a first time mom more thrilled. Like, you should be more excited about it. And he wasn't. And I was just like, that motherfucker was on the phone. I didn't know what he was doing on the phone. I didn't figure that out. Or I didn't find that out, I should say, until we left. So we left, and I was like pissed, but I wasn't saying anything. And I was just trying to enjoy, like, looking at my pictures or whatever. We get in the car, and the first thing he says is, well, I just had to go back and forth with this one and this one. If you don't know, I'm the third mom of the third kid. He decided to wait until my day, my moment, which I was on eggshells about because I was having like liquid leaking from my belly button, and so it was a lot of the signs and symptoms that I had from the previous baby that I lost. And I'm like, this is what you're doing on your phone? This is what you were doing on your phone, talking to these other women. And he's like, well, I need to tell them that um the boys are going to be expecting another little boy or girl. You could have told them that any day. You could have told them that yesterday. You could have told them that tomorrow. You could have told them that any day except today. So I had to spend the rest of the day watching and listening to him sit on the phone and console these women and their feelings about him having a kid. And so like I was just like not reacting because I was pregnant. And in my experience of being alive, I have watched women who are pregnant and they act out of emotions and they do stuff and then it affects their kids. Like an example, when I lived with my mom, there was a lady um, who was pregnant and she was fighting. She was always like getting into fights. And I guess she did it with all her pregnancies. I don't know. But this particular pregnancy, she got into a fight with a lady and she was losing. And in the middle of the fight, she bit a chunk of the lady's cheek out to like get her off of her. And then her daughter was born with like this big ass birthmark that almost looked like a bite on the same cheek and everything. I have like so many stories from like that. So that's why I didn't react. Like I was just like, wow, could have waited any day to do this shit. And now understanding all the stuff that I understand now, I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, this is a person that loves drama, like constantly creating a situation you where you're being provoked and like you will react and they'll get some kind of reaction of energy out of you. So there was always signs, always throughout the whole entire thing. But like I said, those are my examples from the amplification of going into motherhood and becoming a mom and just realizing like, wow, you really just out here creating a bunch of single moms and you have no real concern about being a dad. But then that would be the thing that he would try to convince me of like, I want to be a dad and I want to be better than my father and I want to have memories with my kids and spend all my time with my kids. And anyways, I should have known all of that because I seen how it was with the other moms, you know. So, but I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know the in depth of. I only had his side and his mom's side, so it took for a lot of things to happen for me to be able to connect all the dots and be like, wow, India, how the fuck do you put yourself in this situation? How did you attach yourself to this kind of love that's not really love and it's not even lust. It's like a it's a game, man. And I don't like games, so I don't like men that play video games, none of that shit. I don't play games, I don't have time for that. But anyways, that was it. The other thing that just came to my head is I was watching a video of a girl and she was talking about she's in a reaction and she was saying like there are some men who will try to get you back for making them wait too long to give them a chance. Or if you friend zone them and you weren't their first pick, that and then you get with them, that they will purposely make it their job and their mission to do you as dirty as they possibly can. And when she said that, I was like, I think that was another part of another missing piece to this puzzle. Because this person was my brother's friend. Now, did I necessarily friend zone him? No. There were things that went on where I felt like he liked me or he was like always flirting with me. And we always were just like dealing with other people. And then like we would get together. This was when I was still smoking and drinking. We would get together and like shoot the shit before I had to go to work and like have somebody to share our experiences with the people we were dealing with at the time. But I do feel like there was a hidden agenda of like, oh, you you picked me last, or you waited too long to give me a chance. Because even in conversation about other people that he's talked to me about, he has said that he's done things to people and he's like, oh, you should have did this or you should have did that or you shouldn't have treated me like that. And I'll go out of my way. I'll wait a long time to get my revenge on people. He used to talk like that. And he'd be like, really? Like, that's kind of petty. And he'd be like, oh, but I'm not a petty person. It's just like, if you treat me some type of way, like the time that I could wait to wait it out to like get that payback, nobody could beat me at that. And so I get it now. And I just rebuke that. I don't want that kind of attention. I don't want that kind of attraction. I don't want that kind of because I don't. My mind doesn't operate like that. Nothing about me operates in that manner. But anyways, it's 10:30. And I need to get over to the library. So I'm gonna leave you with our three messages. This plum is so good. I still don't like eating on camera. Yeah, I don't. However, this plum is amazing. I got a bunch of farms and I mean, we got a bunch of fruits from the farm store yesterday, and they're amazingly perfect and the right amount of sweetness. I thought I was gonna leave you with my three messages. I can't multitask. I can't eat and talk. I can't eat on camera. Okay. All right. I'm gonna save the seed. You can dry it out and plant it. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for allowing me to eat my plum. Wow, I needed that. That was so good. Let's see. And now if I do eat before 11, it's liquid fruits and vegetables. It's not like a full course breakfast that people. I don't even know how people just start waking up and eating. It's the most mind blowing thing to me. But I gotta get over to the library. So here's my messages. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. I will take it along with me in my day. And with that being said, my three messages that are near and dear to my heart that I hope provokes thought in your life and helps you turn your life into a lifestyle are as follows. One, don't let anybody label you. Ever. Do not let anybody label you because those who try to label you want you to live in lack and not in your purpose. Those who try to label you see something in you that they don't want you to see in yourself. So they label you so that you live and lead with the label instead of who you were created to be. And if you live and lead with the label, you will live a life of lack and you will live a life of limitations. Two, don't let anybody ever put you in a box. Those who try to put you in a box is simply because they cannot get out of theirs. And if you allow somebody to put you in a box, they will then try to put you in a ditch. And three, don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. And the way that you turn your life into a lifestyle is by taking your life into your own hands and participating in your own rescue and saving yourself. Because absolutely positively nobody is coming to save you. You must save yourself. And if you are able to take time to tap into yourself more and out of the world less, you in return will save yourself from living the life that your family wants you to live, your parents want you to live, the life that society tries to create for you to live in, and the life that the school systems and the job systems try to mold for you to live within. You were not born to work a job, pay bills, and die. No, sir, and no, ma'am. You were born for a purpose. And the way that you figure out your purpose is by figuring out what problem you were born to solve. Once you understand what problem you were born to solve, you will live in your purpose. And your purpose is to live a life of abundance and prosperity because it is your God given birthright. We were all born to make the world a better place and to help people and to solve a problem. So figure out what problem you were born to solve, and then you will turn your life into a lifestyle and the life that you were meant to live. So I might, if I have time, oh my gosh, I might, if I have time, come back this afternoon while I'm sitting outside and do another live. It just depends on what I'm able to get done at the library. Um, if not, then this was me showing up and being consistent for myself today. And I think anybody who was here with me, listening to me, who gave me some likes, some love, some shares, some extras today. And yeah, I'll tune in with you a little later.